All right, everybody, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Adventure Tech Moto. Again, this is a new channel looking to build mainly reviewing tech items, but also doing some gear reviews as I see fit on items that I've tested in the field over thousands of miles, and hopeful that it's helpful to others when they're choosing gear, given another option. I know there's a lot of gear reviews, a lot of big channels out there to get content from. So hoping that I can bring something a little different, find new tech options, provide tech assistance as needed. That's going to be something that I look at how I can help, because I know there's a lot of folks out there that are not very tech savvy, but I believe different tech items can really make your riding that much more enjoyable, especially if it's reliable and you don't have to worry about it breaking out in the middle of nowhere. We're going to look at the Enduristan Pannier Topper and the Enduristan Sandstorm 4X tank bag. We're going to talk about this as an option that I've used this for on my 701 Enduro as a rear tail bag option, where I was looking for something a little different. So we're going to talk about this first and my experience with it and its bigger brother, which they have two sizes on this. So they have a small and a large. So first off, we're going to talk about this one, which is the small size. Now, I apologize, this bag is dirty. I use these bags. I've used this one specifically for a few thousand miles now, and recently took this on the Northeast BDR. So we did roughly, 2,200 miles, I think, total, with no issues with this bag. So let's talk about this one first. So both of the bags, the small and the large, pretty much identical bags except for size. That's really the only thing. So just to give you a premise of where my mind was headed with this, was I couldn't find a rear tail bag that I really liked from a size perspective and a waterproof perspective. So as you can see here, waterproof. These bags are definitely waterproof and is one of the biggest pros of these bags. We had quite a bit of rain our last day, headed back to the car on the NEBDR, and this bag had no issues keeping the water out, so it definitely did well with that. No issues there. Let's just talk about some of the features of these bags. So the first one is this red liner. Very, very bright red. Helps with visibility of items. It definitely does make things easier to find in this bag, which is great. It has an outside heavy duty mesh pocket. So there's Velcro right here, Velcro, and then you have some elastic netting storage. So what I usually do here is I'll put like shoes, water shoes, put it in here as I'm riding, help dry it out, which is great. It has cargo loops around the bag. I use these in a little bit different fashion. Actually put my access straps, and I push them up in there, but you have, and I'll tell you about a different scenario that I had to use these for as well. There's 4 straps. Now, from Enduristan, these come with hooks. And I'll tell you why I took these off. But from the factory, these comes with a hook, like so. Because remember, these are pannier toppers. They hook onto the top of your pannier. But for my use case, and after testing, I ended up having to remove these hooks because of an issue that I had that we'll talk about. Logos, reflective logos, really nice, really clean looking. Love the way it looks. Good zippers. The only issue I've had is fraying around the zipper area on every Enduristan bag I have. there's really no issue with it. Just from an aesthetics point of view. Otherwise, it doesn't affect any of the waterproofness or function of the bag. One thing that you'll have to do with these bags, especially if you're riding in a lot of dusty situations, it comes with some grease. You're going to have to grease this zipper pretty routinely from what I found. Especially me. Sometimes I have to grease this multiple times during a trip because these zippers really start to stick, especially being exposed on that rear rack to a lot of dirt, as you can tell from the bag right now. And this is actually I washed this and sprayed this off already once. So, all right, so inside, let's just go inside the bag here. So really deep, good size. We'll talk about dimensions here. Let's look at the top, and I'll show you one issue that I had here with this bag specifically. So top zipper, really good storage here. So what I keep in this spot right here are tire irons. I keep a medical kit in here. I keep a trail stand for flat tires to prop the bike up. Zip ties, odds and ends. Like, you can fit quite a bit in here actually. It's a great pocket. You have more elastic spots here to put things. I personally don't have anything in here right now actually. You have two Velcro mesh pockets. This one I have no issues with. I keep like some gloves in here. I keep JB Weld in this pocket. This one right here actually tore. So actually fairly soon after I got it, which I was surprised, the stitching, as you can see here, stitching came off. So that's been really the biggest issue I've had with this bag so far, is that stitching pulling loose. The other thing I want to point out is on the other side, you do have a really nice handle. So you can take this bag off, carry it around. Really nice there, really good quality. No issues with that one. On the bottom, really nice solid rubber backing, especially when it's sitting there on that tail rack. You definitely need a really high quality bottom to these so it doesn't rub through or cause any issues. So really like that. Great. And it gives it a little bit of, it makes it a little bit more sturdy too. The sides are good. I mean, really nice and firm. It doesn't, it keeps its shape really well, which I like because I fill this thing pretty full, and this top gets really heavy with everything that I put in it. So that's another thing I really do like about these bags as a tail bag option. Really sturdy construction, which is great. So the size, so this is the small size. So the dimensions of this, so this is 12 liters. They say this is 12 liters, which is a 40 by 20 by 15 centimeters. I'll put that in inches in the video. The large is 15 liters. It's a 40 by 26 by 15 centimeters. So let's talk about the large that I also do have and why I no longer use this bag. So here's the large. Dimensions, overall pretty close to the same. The biggest thing, they're both 40. It's the 26 that's bigger on the large. So I got this bag first. This is the first one that I got from Enduristan. And my goal with my 701 Enduro, again, was to get a tail bag. I wanted a good size so I could fit a good bit of gear, especially as I start filming more on rides. And what I found with this one, especially with my, I believe it's, you call it Perun Moto rack, it didn't fit too well. So these straps were kind of having to come up underneath a little bit to get to the attachment point. On a ride, on this one specifically, on this side, it started rubbing through the strap on the rack. And actually on a rocky section, the hook, and so let's talk about these hooks. This hook actually came loose and the bag flew off the rack, and the guy behind me had to dodge it. I didn't even know the bag fell off until I stopped at an intersection. Had to go back and get it. This kept being an issue. I had to bend these in and clamp it against my rack for them to stay on. One of these even bent on my rack, and that's one reason it came loose. So it actually bent this way and became more straight. That's why it kept coming out. I had reached out to Enduristan about that. Of course, they say that it was an isolated, they had never seen that happen before. So I must have been putting this bag to the test. Obviously not the way it was meant to be used. The other issue that happened, of course, it rolled. This bag was full of stuff. It rolled through the rocks, tore the top. I ended up gluing this to make sure it was still waterproof. No issues with the Velcro on this one. Again, the same quality, same exact waterproofness, except this just did not work with my 701 setup. So I reached out to Enduristan, kind of told them what had happened. Told them about the straps breaking, the hooks not working, you know, would they replace the bag under warranty? Would they send me another one? They would not send me another one, which I do understand. I'm using this bag not quite as it was intended. I was hoping they would stand by the strap breaking, some different things. Anyways, they gave me a discount on the small version, which I was fine with because I do like their bags. And so I grabbed the small version, and I'm going to put some pictures up, but the small version definitely works better on the 701 Enduro setup. So it being a little bit slimmer, the attachment points are just about perfect. They come straight down to attach to my rack. And it really holds tight. There's really no movement at all, which is great. So pricing on the small. So if we're looking at getting the small pannier topper, we're looking at $179.99 on Enduristan USA's site. If you want to go large, it's $189.99. So definitely not a cheap bag. But I think you're paying for the quality, the waterproofness. You ain't got to worry about stopping, putting a cover on, which with my one bag, I had to do that. I know there's a lot of other waterproof bags out there, but I think from a size perspective and a fitment, especially on the 701 Enduro with that rack, this is a really good option that you should look at. All right, so let's talk about the Enduristan Sandstorm 4X tank bag. So my premise for this bag was I wanted a very small bag. I want to be able to get up on the tank if I need to without it getting in my way. I had the Moscow Moto Nomad or Nomax bag with the bladder. Used that for, you know, on my CRF 250, used it on my KTM 390. I didn't want to use that bag anymore. It had a lot of storage options, which also means I'm taking more stuff that I probably don't need. So not only does this give me a smaller footprint on the front of my bike to move around, but it pretty much prevents me from taking more junk that I probably don't need on trips. And that bag specifically from Moscow, it had a cover that you had to put on for being waterproof. So that's another reason I went with this, because it's waterproof. So looking at that, same as the other bags we just talked about, it's got the red liner, it's got the elastic, it's got a good little zipper pocket. I keep like insurance cards and different things in here. I don't keep a lot in here. I keep my glasses, earplugs, keep some snacks in here. Sometimes I'll put my wallet in here, whatever, because of the waterproofness. I ain't gotta worry about it. It has this top removable pocket as well. That's waterproof. It has different cable routing for if you want to put cell phones or any electronics in here or in the bag itself. It does have the quick detach clips for removing it from your bike. Now, I have an auxiliary tank from Raid Garage on my Husky 701. So actually, that's one good thing about this bag is I don't have to remove this to fill up. So this bag never comes off. Once it's on, it stays on, except for if I'm cleaning or taking the seat off, I'll remove the bag. Otherwise, this thing's staying on the bike. Or if I go into, sometimes, you know, personally, we do a lot of hotel or Airbnb now. Our camping days have slowed down on our trips. So we do a lot of that, and so I'll take these off and bring it in, but it's real easy to do that. And then of course you have, you know, attachment points, grab handles. I use that to carry it in, but otherwise same quality as the other bags. Zipper, same thing. I gotta grease this about every trip, maybe every, you know, few days, depending on the conditions. As far as dust goes, no issues. This material is just really robust. I'm not worried at all about anything rubbing through this material. On the back side, just like on the other ones, really nice hard bottom surface. No concerns with that quality. I mean, this is why the price is what it is. This is an extremely well-built quality bag. Now, as you can see, got the frame just like on the other bags that I talked about. This one has the same thing. It has the frame, but again, that doesn't affect anything on the bag itself. So I'm not too concerned about it, at least not yet. If something does change, I would of course come back and let everybody know. So let's talk about the price of this one. So being as small as it is, you wouldn't think it would be this expensive, but this does come with a hefty price tag. So we're talking $174.99. This is just as much as those Pannier topper bags. Again, this is a pretty big investment for a very small tank bag, but this is one, so far I've used this for the last year plus. It's probably been a year. With no issues, no water issues. The waterproofness has held up. Again, I did that long day in the rain with no issues, so it's definitely held up to the waterproofness that they do state. You know, it's really easy to wash and clean with it being waterproof. I keep this on when I pressure wash my bike with no issues, not worried about any water ingress on these. The zippers are definitely heavy duty zippers. And there is a shoulder strap that you can get for this as well. I don't have it, but there is a shoulder strap option. And that's really the big things with this bag. Again, other than the price tag, it's a really great option for many riders. And again, I'll show pictures, but this fits really great on my 701 Enduro. So if you have any questions, leave in the comments. Happy to answer that. If you need additional photos or sizing. So from a sizing perspective, let's talk about that real fast. So this is a 2-liter tank bag. So 2 liters, length is 20 centimeters, width is 15 centimeters, and height is only 10.5 centimeters. So appreciate y'all for joining me. Again, this is new for me, so we're just gonna kind of build this channel together. Hopefully, obviously I'll get better with the reviews, get a better setup, gives you a better quality content, but I want to get some of this stuff out because I know people are looking. Springtime is around the corner. Folks are getting antsy. I'm one of them. I am getting moto fever, waiting to get out and ride my bike. which I'm hopefully going to do here soon because we got a break in weather, hopefully. So a lot of guys are getting their gear ready for upcoming trips. So definitely look at Enduristan. They have some really good options for you. Appreciate y'all. Please like and subscribe as we try to build the channel, share with others, and let me know in the comments if there's any content that you want to see or any tech that you'd like me to look at and review.